Welcome. It's so sunny and hot. Got to put my sunny G's on. We are back with our good friend Madan Mohan. How are you, Madan?
Yeah, very good, Giles. Yeah, all going well over here. Thanks in Wales, out on the coast, West Wales. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I live at a famous cow sanctuary. It's now become famous. If you look up cow companions online, people have come from all over the country, all over Europe. People have come from America to visit my neighbour's cows, and they just come to cuddle them and spend time with them, and it's completely mode of goodness. So it's a very beautiful place to live. So
Oh.
how's things over in Essex?
Well, now in sunny Suffolk, mate, but
Well,
just over.
Suffolk, pardon me.
That's all right, just over the border. But we can almost see Essex, so that's good. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. We're recording this mid-April, and it's one of those. We've just had a long walk, and it's one of those days where you really feel that divine energy in nature. Obviously, it's
Absolutely.
always there, but as we approach St George's Day, for me, I feel this awakening coming in the earth. I mean, are you feeling it?
Oh, definitely. It's happening. Yeah. I mean, this is a beautiful time of year, isn't it? It's 2, 3 weeks ago, the trees were all bare, and all of a sudden, all that life has burst forth. I mean, where I meditate in the mornings, it looks out onto sort of a dense forest, and it was all just brown and branches a couple of weeks ago, and now it's all just green. The birds are singing. Yeah, it's a beautiful time of year.
Amazing. It really is amazing. And we're doing this show now, kind of sounders. I mean, if you're listening to this in the future, that's fine too. But we're doing this, getting this out because it's a very special holy day coming up on the 19th of April, very auspicious holy day. And we wanted just to put it out there and tell you about it. And I've got the man to explain a bit more about it here. So please do take the floor, my friend.
Okay, on the Vedic calendar, there's one day in the year that's extremely auspicious. It gives a massive boost if you're going to start any kind of a new project. So my spiritual master's temple, it was actually founded by his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Pragan Keshav Maharaj. When he founded his temple in 1940, he founded the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti. Um, it was it's given a massive boost on this day. It's called Akshaya Tritiya. So it's basically astrologically auspicious. All the stars and planets line up in a very beautiful way. And it gives a massive impetus to any kind of positive project. So August the 19th, that's next Sunday, I believe, isn't it?
April the 19th. Yeah.
April the 19th.
Yeah. Okay, so that's coming up. And when we had a chat in the week, you said to me, "I want to communicate this, and one of the reasons I want to communicate it is for people to start or get involved in peace projects,
Especially peace. I mean,
especially peace." Yeah,
because it's since I was putting out information about a world peace project, and you gave me massive support for that at the yoga show October last year, and to start it on an auspicious day, the 11th of the 11th, with the idea of it being a 1746 day celebration of peace. um, so that's about 4 years, 9 months, 9 days, best part of 5 years. So it's not going to happen overnight. Every year there's a World Peace Day, which is wonderful to focus on world peace. But what needs to happen is the people of the world just simply need to unite in positive actions for peace. So next Sunday, yeah, April the 19th, Akshaya Tritiya, massively auspicious day to start any peace initiative. And it's really about meditation on the positive. It's not about fighting. It's not anti-war. Anti anything is a negative meditation. If you focus on what you don't want, you tend to get more of what you don't want. That's the famous law of attraction. So we want to focus on peace and celebrate peace. And very famously, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement, he came over 1965, 1966. He was distributing a formula for peace. He was basically saying the thing that really struck me: without peace, there can be no happiness. It's universally true. If you're not in a peaceful situation, how can you possibly be happy? You know, whether bombs are dropping or whether you're stressed out about money or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so and we can establish peace. It's perfectly within our means. Um, so yes, we can do that, Giles, and anyone can do that. I mean, you know me, you've known me for a long time. Um, I follow a particular line of thinking, a particular philosophy, Krishna consciousness, and it works for me. But this isn't just about one religion or one aspect of religion. Swami Prabhupada said, you know, just be a good, if you're a Christian, be a good Christian. If you're a Muslim, be a good Muslim. If you're a Jew, be a good Jew, you know, be a good Buddhist. But he was particularly recommending the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra as the most powerful way. He called it the Yuga Dharma. That's the specific process of this age for not only becoming peaceful within yourself, that's where peace begins, isn't it? We have to be peaceful at home, um, but also spreading peace. You know, how you live, that is your statement of yeah, this is what I want to put out in the world, and treat people how we want to be treated. That's the golden rule, basically, isn't it? So, you know, God gives us these commandments through the Bible: love me and love each other. And that's it. That's how Jesus summarized the entire set of commandments. There's 613 commandments, and Moses condensed it down to 10, and Jesus condensed it down to two: love God and love each other.
Yeah.
He wasn't asking anything that we couldn't do. And it's not a sentimental kind of love. And it's not, God didn't say like each other. He wasn't commanding us to like each other, because that's too big of an ask if you think about it. Because then you have to weigh up, well, am I attracted? Do I agree with this person? No, that none of that matters. To love people is to act in a loving way, is to show respect, show consideration. You know, people, you don't know what anyone's been through any time, do you? You know, we're all in the same boat, basically. Ultimately, we are all one family, regardless of what we call ourselves. Nationality, not important. Religion, that doesn't actually identify us. So what really identifies us is the fact that we're eternal spiritual beings. It's actually described in Bhagavad Gita that we, as individuals, are infinitesimal expansions of God. You know, when people say there is no God, it's a philosophy. They may want to believe that for whatever reason. So yeah, atheism, the idea that there is no God. No, it's an absurd idea, even, because it's like, how can you prove what does or doesn't exist? And they say, oh, there's no proof of God. Well, look at nature. Really look. What, you think this all happened by accident, some random explosion, and you know, you're just simply a mutated animal. And if you trace your ancestry back, you'll go back to some sort of, you know, microbe. It's actually, it doesn't even make sense. So the more you look into it, the more you actually see God everywhere. And Bhagavad Gita says you can know God in three ways: as the all-pervading, omnipresent. That's Brahman realization. It's like what David Icke talks about. You know, our friend David,
Mm.
and that's as far as the intellect can take you, is an appreciation that God is everything and everywhere. It's true, but there's a higher truth than that. I think David Icke says, I am all that was, is, and ever will be. Well, he's not, is he? Let's be honest about it. But what he's talking about, he's acknowledging divinity pervades absolutely everything. So he's tuned into that. And that's as far as the intellect can take you. But above that, the yogis, they can connect with Krishna, God in the heart. It said that God is super soul, this is Paramatma realization. We're the individual Atma. God is Paramatma, the supreme soul. So we have awareness of our particular field of activities. This is the difference between us and God. You know, we're aware of what's around us and what's our business. God is aware of everything and everybody's business simultaneously. That's the difference. But we're actually the same in quality, not quantity, but in quality. But above that, Paramatma realization, Krishna says this clearly in Bhagavad Gita, you can know me, the person. And that requires devotion. That requires following a process. Now, here's an extraordinary statement he makes in Bhagavad Gita. Everyone follows my path in all respects. And if you think about it, that's quite mind-blowing. That there is only one path and everyone's following it.
Mm.
The point being there, are we following that path towards God by our devotional practice, by the way we live? Or are we following that path in the wrong direction? And if we are in the wrong direction, we'll know it. It might be an easy, comfortable slide downwards. You know, we might only be concerned with our own comfort and luxury. But when we're going in the wrong direction, and the soul will know it, this is the Atma, this is who we actually are. It's like, well, okay, I've got all the money, I've got all the comfort, I've got the nice car, the nice house, the nice wife and children, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not satisfied. Why aren't I satisfied? And we start to ask ourselves these questions. At some point in your life, you will say, who am I? Where do I come from? Why am I here? What is the purpose of life, and how can I achieve that purpose? So this is why Holy Scripture is given to us. It's given to us through the Vedas. To me, that's the supremely authoritative body of knowledge. It's given through the Bible. It's given through the Quran. You know, it's given through, you know, God's very kind.
Yeah, it's given through the trees I'm looking at and the sun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like my dad said, he didn't really like religion. He wasn't a big fan of religion because he saw a lot of hypocrisy, which is there. Um, He said, but he said, when I look at a flower, I just think I
Yeah,
couldn't make that. This has
yeah,
been made by a higher being. When I look at the trees and the animals,
yeah, yeah,
nature.
yeah,
So, you know, if you look at our education system, it's actually an industrial system. It's processing us. They're basically teaching predominantly obedience and conformity, and we're being processed as you know, to go out into the workplace basically and serve one industry or another. And that's okay. You know, it's good. We need to make a living, but we have been royally deceived about what is life, what is love, who is God, what is nature, what is time, and what is space, practically everything, really. And it says in the Bible that a time will come, and we are living in that time. This is now, when everything that was concealed shall be revealed. And well, look, our parents before us, Giles, they never had access to the amount of information that we've got access to. They say there's something like the amount of information that's held in the British Library comes online about every 4 hours. It's such a flood of information. It's actually quite bewildering,
yeah.
but we have to keep focused.
Yeah,
And
and I
just focus on the two things that Jesus said, love God and love each other. Yeah, go on.
100%, mate. And what beautiful words flowing through you. I think that people can make that change, that shift. If you're listening to this right now and you're thinking, yeah, I've been on my journey, the thing is, the change is now. The transformation, that soul consciousness is within you now. That peace, that love, that wisdom. And the way to get it, and this is one of the things I'd maybe just like to round off with, or certainly to join with you. and please do join at home, is Madan said there's a simple formula for peace, which is the Hare Krishna mantra, the Maha mantra. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a very powerful healing thing. So, Madan, please can we just sing it through for people?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Beautiful. So, friends, sing that song. If you don't, there's lots of you can just look it up online or whatever, or get a nice version. Learn to play it on a guitar or a piano or something, or just with a drum, harmonium. Just learn to sing that song. It's a beautiful thing. Now, Madan, you've put together a lot of your research over many decades, going back probably 40 years of your research into consciousness and tools for bringing about peace. And you've put together a lot on a lovely website. Can you just let the kind of sounders know about that? Where's the best place for people to follow your work online?
The latest website I put up, which is really centered on world peace, it's called powerofsound.uk. So, and that does refer on to two previous websites. There's wizardsofom.com, and there's one centered around the sacred geometry of London, particularly, which is neo2012.co.uk. Neo stands for New Earth Olympics. The idea of that one is that if we all play by the same rules, like as they do at the Olympics, we can live peacefully. So we need to live by the law of love. This is the most powerful thing that we can do, is actually, to follow those simple commandments. To love each other, to act in a loving way towards everyone around us, and to ourselves and to all creatures. So yeah, I've put out there stuff about sacred geometry, because when people are trained in the name of science that no God exists, well, if you want to study sacred geometry, you'll see that it's actually impossible that all of this has just come together by accident from any angle, from any point of view. It's just that we have an education system that is committed to materialism. Basically, they're saying there is only matter, but actually there is a higher science. Bhagavad Gita, it may have been spoken 5,000 years ago. It's 100% relevant to today, because it describes the science of gross matter, that's there, but it also describes the science of subtle matter.
Yeah, the science of the soul.
Well, the subtle is, the gross matter is the physical body and the senses. The subtle side of that is mind, and then more subtle than
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
is intelligence. With
yeah.
the mind, we're choosing, but with the intelligence, we're using discernment to choose, well, should I do this? Should I do that? But even more subtle than that, and this is where we can get tripped up, is what's called the false ego, ahankara. And that false ego, with that false ego, we can misidentify ourselves. We can think, I am this body, I am independent, I am the controller, I am God even, that's quite a popular philosophy.
Yeah.
This is kind of you know, a bit of a misconception.
Yeah,
Like,
we don't say that.
no, we don't, but it's popular because it appeals to the ego, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I am
Yeah,
supremely
I mean,
powerful. Well, we're not.
definitely, it's like, for me, it's like a droplet from the ocean. I'm like a droplet, and I am one with the ocean. My essence is the same as the ocean. I am one with God, but I wouldn't say I'm God. So that's that evolution beyond that is that divine consciousness, isn't it? The Christ consciousness, the Krishna consciousness, whatever words you want to use. You call it different things, different cultures. But it's awakening, isn't it, my friend? This divine consciousness is awakening, despite what you're, you know, is being pumped at you through the news or the social media, or whatever. And you know, there are challenges taking place on the world. Of course they are. But as a friend said to me the other day, you are the immortal, the eternal spirit soul. And that is a beautiful thing to remember. So final closing words from you, my friends, to the kind of sounders out there.
Oh, well, to I to really spread peace in the world is we can start at home, just be peaceful at home, just meditate on acting in a loving way towards one another. Two interviews ago, Giles, you said let's record together. We're on opposite sides of the country. You're a talented musician and singer, and you have your own recording studio. I write, but you suggested we get together, start the Wizards of Om
Yeah,
band and
yeah,
the musical. When God last incarnated as Lord Chaitanya 500 years ago, and there's a movie being made about him this year just called Chaitanya. It's not out yet. Looking forward to that. He came in the mood of his female half, so he wasn't spectacular like when Krishna came, 16,000 palaces and you know when he'd previously come as Lord Ram, he was the mighty warrior, the emperor of the world kind of thing. But when he came in the mood of his female half, just extremely humble. And when anyone even recognized, oh, this is God, he just said, like, shh, be quiet, because he came in the mood of a devotee. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
devotees are very humble.
yeah, yeah.
So it's not only chanting the holy name, but with humility.
Yep,
It's a
yep,
beautiful verse. If you want to chant the holy name, think of yourself, be humbler than a blade of grass, you know, uh,
yeah,
lower than a straw in the street. You know, think of yourself as yeah a very a tiny person, you know, in a world that's ultimately everything's controlled by God. This is a
yeah,
safe place.
yeah, yeah,
We're children in God's nursery,
yeah, yeah,
but we do have to connect
yeah,
with God. And when we call his name, basically in Bhagavad Gita, he's saying, if you want to know me, love me. And if you want to love me, call my name. And when we do that, stuff happens.
yeah, man.
All of a sudden, he gives us access. He lives within our heart anyway, and he will come in the form of a teacher, maybe a book, whatever, but stuff will happen. So chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that is a massive contribution to inner peace and world peace. That's my conclusion is about the best thing we can do.